Yeah. This is today's subject will be Kabir Das ke dohe and corporate gyan. So first, let me tell you, Kabir Das has not written any corporate gyan. He is not a management graduate. In fact, during Kabir Das times, 15th century, we didn't have organized business. We had only individual vyapars. Much later, only during Jahangir's rule, Sir Thomas More came. And then wo Purva Bharat company ka nirman hua, and then the whole thing changed in India's future. So, I have picked up a few dohe of Kabir Das, which when looked at it from the organization of an angle, business, purpose of business, salesmanship, leadership, values, the human resources management, these areas, when you look at it, these dohas seem very relevant. So that's the angle from which I have picked up. See, whenever we have an organization, the first question which the stakeholders, the people who form the company should ask is, what is my purpose? What is the purpose for which my company has come into existence? If profit is your purpose, understand that is not a purpose. That is only a net result, and then people are not interested in what profit you make. Suppose I go and say, I want to start a business.
Volume बढ़ाएंगे?
हाँ, volume बढ़ा देता हूँ. Sure.
Now clear नहीं हो रहा है voice आपका.
अच्छा, पूरा बढ़ा दिया volume. इसमें तो volume बढ़ा दिया.
अब थोड़ा क्लोज कर लीजिए अपने लैपटॉप.
हाँ, क्लोज कर ले. हाँ,
अब सही है, अब सही है.
ठीक है ना? या, अब ठीक है ना?
Thank you.
So, ये जो purpose, what is the purpose of your organization? Suppose I say I'm starting up an organization so that I can make profit. So you will say, you are making profit, why should I contribute? But suppose I say I am starting an organization for the benefit of all of you here. Then you say, oh, is it so? So I take you back to the formation of Wright brothers, who had this first manned flight. At that point of time, on the one side, research was being done by Wright brothers. On the other side, research was being done by a person called Langley Foundation. Langley Foundation had a lot of money, and every research was being funded and things like that. Wright brothers did not have anything. They had a bicycle shop, they sold it, and they were doing research. Wright brothers succeeded, Langley failed. Why? Because when people used to ask Langley, if you are able to fly, what is the benefit? He said, my stock will go up from $1 to $100. I will become a multimillionaire. I'll become this. I'll become that. I'll become this. Whereas Wright brothers said, if I am able to make this aluminum tube fly safely across America, I will save you people 30 hours time. So you started thinking, Arey, if he makes a flight, I will benefit. So it caught hold of the public imagination, and today everybody is flying. In the same way, aapki sanstha, your organization, if it thinks of me, suppose the organization says, you, public will read it as me. If organization says I, people will read it as you. Why should I contribute to your success? Nasarwanji Tata, somebody asked him, why do you want to start a steel company? He said, India is going to even before 1914, he started talking. He said, someday India is going to become free and we have to rebuild. Steel we need. India needs steel. And today, what is Tata Steel? And look at the advertisement of Tata Steel. They said he also makes steel. Look at the vision. This is called organization purpose. In the same way, what is the purpose for which you exist? This is what Kabir Das, first doha which I picked up today, I am going to sing for you. Kabir Das says, साधु भूखा भाव का, धन का भूखा नाही, साधु भूखा भाव का, धन का भूखा नाही, धन का भूखा जो फिरे सो तो साधु नाही कबीरा, सो तो साधु नाही. If you are after money, sadhu nahi. Sadhu doesn't mean long bed, kamandalu and asking for bhik. Sadhu means a person whose intentions are good. I am starting a company. What for? Hey, society should be good, man. People should be prosperous. We should go to Jamshed. I'm not buttering Tata or somebody. I don't work for them. Should go to Jamshedpur, see the housing colonies, see water supply. They've owned the place. They say getting into Tatas is difficult, getting out is even more difficult. You know that feeling for the people, that thing which has made a languid Tata into an international giant today, the purpose for which you exist. That's very important. One more story on the purpose. There was a company called IBM. They were mainframe computer makers. When PC came, the company got a hit. For the first time in their history, they had to ask people to leave. Very easy, na? Here is your 3 months notice, please go. IBM did not do that. They converted the office HR department into an employment exchange. They told everybody, use office electric typewriters, use office fax machine, Xerox machine, type your CV and we will give you a recommendation, apply to other companies. 1,000 people applied, 600 people got jobs. 400 people said, we will retire from IBM, but we will not work elsewhere. Look at the vision. So if your vision, if you are after money, it is something like this. This is my theory. Mahalakshmi is a Devi. If you run after Mahalakshmi, she runs away from you. If you go towards her husband Narayan, she will say, "Arey chodo yaar mere husband ko, zara sone do usko. So I will give you what you want." So Narayan is the purpose in life. Mahalakshmi is the result. Aapka purpose sahi ho, to money will follow. This is lesson number 1 from this doha. The next 2 doha are for rising of leaders. See, this was the period about 14 years ago. Sam Manekshaw passed away. Sam Manekshaw was the first and only field marshal, the person who was raised to that position. He was not afraid of challenges. Dar nahi tha. They say in 1971, the Prime Minister of that time called him. She said, you know the situation in the border? Be prepared to get into Bangladesh, East Pakistan. He thought and said, no. She said, Prime Minister's orders. He said, ye mera resignation. I will not go. Why? She said, this is monsoon time. Monsoon mein koi pagal jayega Bangladesh mein. All the tanks will get fixed in the fertile soil there. And entire North India is alluvial soil. They will be planting and growing crops. Iske upar hum tank chalayenge, army chalayenge. What will happen to the food production next year? Not now, no way. Then she said, what do you suggest? She said, 1st December I will enter. 10 days. Dekhiye kya hota hai. You and all, I know what happened. That is leadership. Crisis throws up a leadership, a good leader. So for that 2 dohas of Kabir Das, he says, Hira paya parkhi, danma din haan. Hira paya parkhi, ganma din haan. Chot sahi phuta nahi, तब पाई पहचान कबीरा, तब पाई पहचान. You take a piece of glass, drop it on the floor there. How is diamond hardened? Cut, polish, beat. Parkhi will know a diamond by the hit it takes. Chot kaya toota nahi, tab pai pehchan. Prime Minister says, I order you. He said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't risk my soldiers' lives. You may be Prime Minister. I am army head. They say in England there was a Prime Minister called Gladstone. Queen Victoria gave him orders. Do this, do this, do this. So she said, remember, you're talking to the Queen of England. He bent low and said, Your Majesty, please remember you're talking to the people of England. Fearless. Parkhi. Are todo yaar, kya kar sakte ho? Jada se jada kya kar? What will you do to me? Azad Hind Fauj. Parkhi. Kahan gaya Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose? Naren, Parkhi, swam across the Indian Ocean and sat, and that rock came to be called Vivekananda Rock. Went to the USA. Nobody thought of addressing the US people as brothers and sisters. Are aaj tak unko koi brother sister bola hi nahi. Ladies and gentlemen bolte the. Hira came from India. In the same thing, he says, all of us, all that glitters is not gold. Ek hi vajan wala ki hai, ye nahi hota hai. Same degrees. I have got a management degree. It doesn't make any difference. Uske liye ek doha hai. तोल बराबर घुगची, मोल बराबर नाही. तोल बराबर घुगची, मोल बराबर नाही. मेरा तेरा पट तरा, दीजे आगी माही कबीरा, dije agi mahi. Gugchi is that snail, Its weight is about 10 grams. Gold 10 grams and that snail 10 grams. Tol to ek hi hai, value ek hi hai kya? A snail weighing 10 grams, gold weighing 10 grams, are they of same value? So there are a lot of people with MBA. So one fellow told me, MBA. Then I asked him a few questions. At the end of it, I said, please don't mistake it. Okay, I'm telling you in private. Your MBA stands modest but arrogant. Okay. To another fellow, I said, your MBA stands for much below average. There was one fellow, smart fellow. He says, sir, MBA mane Marwadi business acumen. So just because I've got an MBA degree pinned against my chest means nothing. Aag mahi, throw it into the fire. What will happen to the snake? To the snail? 10 grams. Throw it into the fire. What will happen to gold? Tol barabar, bol barabar nahi. So what brings out a leader, whether corporate or otherwise? What brings out the successful leader is his inner majbuti. Inner majbuti. Hey, one match. India were 5 down for 21. It happened 39 years ago, June 20. Uske pehle. Out walks a fellow. Pasine puste puste. Takes turn. And when he retired, when he came back into the pitch, India were some 271 and World Cup jeet liya uske baad. His name is Kapil Dev. He has never been dropped for lack of physical fitness even in one match. वो some इधर उधर politics करके उनको एक match में drop करवा दिया. Otherwise he would have had a person who has never been dropped. In the interview, India is 500-1 outsider. Somebody asked him, "Why? What have you come here? What's your goal?" He said, "To win the World Cup." Everybody laughed. He also, he hasa. On the 26th of June, he had the last laugh. And they made a movie. This is tough. Stuff. So these are the two for making of good leaders. Okay, one is Hira Paya Parki and Tol Barabar. Okay. It took me quite a job to construct all these. There were over 300 dohas from which I had to pick out all. So, ek hafte ka kaam tha. Okay, now that's a good leader in the Bhagavad Gita is also highlighted very beautifully. In the Bhagavad Gita, the good leader is, there are some qualities which I will bring it about a little later. I may be a good leader. Am I aware of my blind spots? Many a good leader is not aware of his blind spots. And Kabir Das gives the example of a torch, a burning torch. It will spread or light all around, but no light just below that. Okay, so he says, Pandit aur masal ji dono sujat nahi. Pandit aur masal ji dono sujat nahi. औरन को कर चांदना आप अंधेरे माही कबीरा आप अंधेरे माही. I light the world, I am in darkness. कितने पंडित ऐसे हैं? How many pandits are there? So many people are there, highly qualified. How you should live, how you should live, how you should live. Ask him how you live. He said, hey, don't ask me. तमिल में बोलते हैं ऊर्क उपदेशम, माने सबको भाई उपदेश देते रहो. Am I like that? Especially if you are going to be a leader, if you are going to lead the organization to the next generation, if you are going to lead your organization to the future, do you have an awareness of your blind spots? And are you open? Are you open to somebody pointing out your blind spots? This is a big problem. Many of us, when success comes, we become so full, We become so full that even others say, we don't listen. Listen to the story of Bali Chakravarti. He wanted to give dana. He said, unless I give dana, I won't eat. So itna sa bachcha hai. Small dwarfish fellow. In the cinema they show, Tere dwar khada Bhagwan Bhagat de re jo. They show this song and all, very nice. And he asked him, what do you want? He says, 3 measures of land, nothing more. He says, Bali Chakravarti said, de diya. His teacher, Shukracharya says, socho bhai, this fellow is not an ordinary guy. Mujhe to bahut, I see a lot of problem here. He says, shut up. He says, Mangiye, Sankalp kiya, first step, heavens taken. Second step, earth taken. Where do I put my third step? Bali Chakravarti said, hamare sar mein rakho. Meaning, he understood his blind spot, arrogance. Arrogance is the downfall for many a person. Nothing will happen to me. False. So, very beautiful doha, especially in today's times when technology is growing so fast. There are some of my colleagues here all from banking industry. Many of us are trainers. Okay, many of us are trainers. Some of us here are karaoke singers. And karaoke singing ek baar karke, we think I am better than Naushad and Mohammed Rafi. That's the problem. एक karaoke वाला गाना क्या recording अच्छा हो गया, so I think I'm better than, and people will comment better than original. अरे यार वो देख के I had a bad shock once. Few days ago I sang, वो हम न थे, वो तुम न थे. Somebody said better than original. I said यार मर गया, हम नहीं गाएंगे फिर. Not, where is your blind spot can bring you down. So the leader should be aware of his blind spot. Okay. Then you have an organization. In that organization, somebody comes to you with a problem. He comes and says, I have this problem. I have this situation. What can I do? This is a real life story. Real life story. I'll tell you the character's name as we go on. This lady saw an advertisement in the paper. Tata Engineering Company, okay, wants to recruit engineers, only menfolk. She got so annoyed that she wrote an inland letter addressed to JRD. She said, yours is the most male chauvinist company that I've ever seen. Why can't ladies be employed in your company? She wrote the letter and forgot about it. Exactly 3 weeks later, she got an envelope from the Tatas. Please come for an interview. Mr. JRD would like to meet you. He's a hard pair company like. So I wrote a casual letter and this fellow's called me. He said, come to Bombay, we'll pay reimburse, vagara, vagara. So she went there and JRD, white and white. And you see it. He said, yes, what do you have to say? I said, no, sir, actually what I meant was, I know what you meant. Please say what is in your mind. Then she said, what was yeah, is anybody if you're
cinema part
cinema party line, I am talking Kabir Das ke dohe. Please mute your phone. So
sorry.
Not at all. No, sometimes what happens is my image has become one cinema fellow. That's why when I talk philosophy, people don't take me seriously, perhaps. I don't know. So they talked and finally he said, I'll give you a job. But do you understand something? He said, this being a totally male industry, a company provided for males, we don't have a single toilet for women. So give me 1 month's time to construct it and then I will ask you to join. This was JRD. This lady worked there. After a few years, she resigned. And she said, my husband is coming. We are both forming our own company. The name of the couple was Sudha Murthy and Narayan Murthy. And JRD said, when your company is successful, do something for people. And today their foundation is doing a lot for people. So it is not even enough if you have a public limited company or a limited company with all a lovely 20-story structure worth hundreds of crores of rupees, but no heart. Does the company have a heart? Our company doesn't believe in this philosophy. Do you do all that? What is the company's heart? For this, Kabir Das has to go. Okay, he says, Kabir te peer hai, jo jane par peer. Kabir te peer hai, jo jane par peer. जो पर पीर न जाने ते काफिर बेपीर कबीरा ते काफिर बेपीर. Peer means pida. Peer also means a sadhu, enlightened person. That person alone is enlightened जो पर पीर जानिए, one who understands दूसरे का दर्द. Yahan I have pain. Do you understand it? Do you feel? Sympathy nahi chahiye. No? In Tamil, we have a wonderful word for sympathy. Ayyo, they will say. No, suppose I went, I have got a lot of hair. So suppose that fellow cuts a little extra. I once went. Last year, I said, give me Gregory Peck haircut. He gave me Yul Brynner haircut. You should look at both these characters. I went for a Gregory Peck haircut. Oh, Yul Brynner bana ke humko Shetty bana ke bhej diya. What can we do? Ayyo, they can do. I have to wait for 4 or 6 months to have to grow back. Kya karenge? So empathy, I don't, sympathy is ayyo. Hey, my God, I feel for you. I say I have been in trouble. There's another example. I am there for you. Iska matlab kya hai? I am there for you. Suppose I say I am stuck in this place. Bring your car and take me back home. Bangalore may surely say, sir, I will never ask because it will take 4 hours to drive me, come to that spot to pick me up. Uske pehle I will have one more round of hair growth. I'm there for you. What is this there for me? Will you spend one night as a bystander in the hospital with me if I have a problem? It's there for you, sir. This, especially after the coming of his device, anything, everything people will write. Anything people will write. Peer is a feeling. Do you feel the pida? If you feel the pida, you're fine. Otherwise, you are a kafir. Peer, feeling less kafir. Does your company, does the brick and mortar feel for people? This is company policy. Quit if you don't like. If this is the policy, I don't know what kind of organization. Come back. We'll hold this position for you. You come back. We'll try accommodate you. Can you work for 3 hours? We'll accommodate you. This is okay. On the same vein, Kabir gives one more. He says, Jo ghat. This last week I had quoted and somebody said, we have never heard this. Please give the meaning. So here is a chance. I'm giving you the meaning as well. Okay. Jo ghat prem na sachre, so ghat janu masan. Jo ghat prem na sachre, so ghat janu masan. जैसे खाल लुहार का सांस लेत बिन प्राण कबीरा, सांस लेत बिन प्राण. These days people do not know what is a blacksmith. You should go to his shop. He will have, a leather pump. Right? It will pump. Saans leti hai, it breathes, and because of the breathing, the fire burns. Saans let, but usme is there life in that khal, in that skin? Saans let bin pran. Jo ghat prem na sachre, where there is no affection. Wo ghat janu masan. It is like a crematorium. Sabka ek hi, either you are underground, burnt or thrown to the birds. No other alternative. It's like a crematorium. Are organizations like that? Unfortunately, today it has been. Unfortunately, today organizations have become that. Are perform. What's that? Shape up or ship out. There was a fellow who was about 45. 2 years ago it happened, 2020. The fellow was doing very well. He was about 43 years old, doing very well in the company. It had divisions, 4 or 5 divisions. He was one of the senior vice presidents. And he was monthly paying an EMI of about 1.5 crores, I mean annual premium. Annual EMI of 1.5 crores towards the housing loan he had taken. Just imagine what's the monthly output he was giving towards EMI. Annual was some 1.5 crores. One fine morning, the company said, business down ho gaya. Sir, what do I do, sir? 3 months notice. That poor fellow did not recover from the shock. He spoke to me. He said, Mohanji, what does Bhagavad Gita say? I said, Bhagavad Gita, what does it say? Bhagavad Gita says, loan repay karo and try for a new job. What will it say? You have to fight. Is there any other solution? I said, yeah, you can pray. What else can you do? At the end of how many? 72 days, he died of heart attack. Just 43 years old. And look at this organization. My company is not doing well. He says, sir, I have got 3 installments to pay at the rate of about so many lakhs per month. If you can extend it by another 3 months, instead of 3 months, if you give me 6 months, I will ride the present crisis. Job market is dull. You cut my salary by half. Cut my salary. But do something. Please help. So the chairman said, okay, we will do, and left. HR said, my instructions are like this. I can't do it. Saans le to bin pran. What is the use? If There is a company called HR. There's a department called HRD. What does it stand for? Human Resources Development. In many clinics, it is Human Resources Damaging and Destruction Department. HRDD. Destroy the moral. Make him unfit for employment even in his home house. Even his wife will not work him in the, give him work in the kitchen, kind of. This is sad reflection. Maybe Kabir Das saw this coming in the 15th century. So this is about Achha. Then there are companies, there are directors. I am a banker. I used to be a banker. Now I'm a storyteller. I used to be a banker. You know, there are certain places that bank will not tell you anything. But we are not supposed to be seen in certain places. What places? Race course, casinos. Imagine I am a banker. And every evening, every Friday evening, Saturday evening, you see me in a casino. What confidence will you have to put your money in mine? In one Saturday, you see me in a casino, and the other Saturday, you see me in Mahalakshmi race course. You will say, yahan se paisa pehle nikal lo bhai. There are certain places where I am not supposed to be seen. They say, there is a saying in Tamil. Even if you sit under the palm tree and have water, people will think, ye to toddy pee raha. I am sitting under the palm. I am sitting outside a bar, okay? And especially in the Tamil Nadu type of country liquor bar. And I'm telling him, bahut pyas lag rahi hai, pani pilao. And he gives me a glass of water. What will you say? Arey, he has come to such a level that from Scotch whiskey he has come down to toddy. That's what your conclusion will be. No? There are some places I'm not supposed to be seen. As a corporate leader, as a head of the department, as chairman, I'm not supposed to be seen in certain circles. Whatever be your business. I am not supposed to be entertained by mafia, by underworld. I'm not supposed. In my company party, such people should not come. Defaulters, ones who have not repaid loans, should not come to my party. Okay, the ultimate vision. What does Kabir Das have to say? He says, Kabir taha na jaiye, jahan kapat ho he. Kabir taha na jaiye, jahan kapat ko he. नौ मन बीज जो बोई के खाली रहेगा खेत कबीरा, खाली रहेगा खेत. If your company is such, and in your khet, apne 9 months of beej you have sowed, खाली रहेगा खेत. Nobody will come. Character, वो कह रहा ना संगत, there is that, sympathetic vibration, that whether you like it or not, it's called sangat chetana. It will touch me. In fact, used on the positive side, here Anita, yeah, Anita ji is here. Used on the positive side, a good meditator can send out, that vibes of positivity and change the person around. In the same way, the vibes of negativity can pull people down. 3 people, not even 3 people, 1 person pulled the entire Kaurava Rajya down. The person was called Shakuni. And he came from Afghanistan. Avagamanasthana it was called. Gandhar Pradesh was Afghanistan. And from there he came. And he pulled down the entire Rajya with his kapat. Karna was better. Karna said, fight that one. Arey lado yaar, samna karo. He said, nahi, you can't fight them. Unko cheat karo. Cheat them, bring them down. Breach their trusts. So you don't go to such companies. Kabir tahana jaiye. That is verse number, today is 7. Okay. Another beautiful verse. Okay. Hey, no reflection on anybody. There are people, if you are in the business of salesmanship and things like that, Okay, please don't mistake. You're a salesperson and things like that. Modern salesperson techniques, especially if you have a bank account. One relationship manager will call you. You try calling, you can never reach the person. But it is like Yamraj. When they want, they can call you anytime, anywhere. Up toilet mein baithe raho, puja room mein baithe raho, relationship manager will reach you. Sir, I see your account has 50,000 rupees. Arey, mujhe khud malum nahi hai. He is already known. Okay, so what? I have a scheme for you. What is the scheme? How quickly to relieve you of your money? I say, I am a senior citizen. Why I don't need? Sir, do you have grandchildren? Nahi hai to wo bana denge. They will give me adopted grandchildren. Say, you can do this, you can do this, you can. Then one day a nice looking fellow will come. Fellow and a felly will come. They speak so beautifully. They will say, Madam ko bhi bulaiye na. अरे एक की हजामत चाहिए, दोनों की हजामत. And at the end of it, they will sell you something. Then at the end, he'll say, sir, 1.5 lakhs per year I can't invest now. Sir, only for 5 years. And then, by the time that 2-3 visits, they have been very close to you also. They will say, sir, if you invest, it will help me, sir. It will help me get a lift in the career. Then, all your, especially if there is a wife sitting next to you, her Vatsalya Ras will come out. She will say, poor girl, she can get married and things like that. Lelo policy. So the Lelo bus. There's one song, Mukhi song. Lelo bus gaya. Gaya. So once I asked him, after being fooled so many times, one fellow I asked. I said, yeah, theek hai, I will help you in your career. In 2 years' time, 1 year time, suppose my daughter gets married and I want this money back. And sir, after 5 years, you will get. This year I want money. Can you get? He said, no, sir, premature withdrawal we cannot allow. I said, forget what your scheme says, man. You give from your pocket, no? You told me that if I spend money, it will help your career. अब तुम तो AGM बन जाओगे, तुम्हारे पॉकेट से दो ना यार 1.5 लाख रुपए. After that, he never came home. Now that is the technique I use. Okay. Now this no reflection on people who sell things. What are you doing? The fellow will come in the way they look, in your house. Isko yaar kaise downfall iska. How to pin something on you and take money. Okay. Uske liye Kabir Das has an excellent way. He says, Naman nawa to kya hua, Sudha chitna tahi. Naman nawa to kya hua, Sudha chitna tahi. Par diya duna nave, biragahi tuke jahi kabira. It's not, this is a little difficult to understand, this doha itself. It's a very old bhasha, Brij bhasha, very difficult to understand. It took me some time to understand. Naman nawa, हमने आपको नमन किया, तो क्या हुआ? So what? Suda chit nahi, my intention is not okay. Naman nama to kya hua? Suda chit na tahi, andar ka chit jo kharab hai. He says, par diya. Duja nave, jo shikari, the hunter, he will aim the arrow 2 times, 2 bar he will bend low and shoot the mirgahi. He does as though naman to the deer and only for shooting for the skin. So be very careful of sweet-tongued salesmanship. Sir, we have done. You are a senior citizen, sir. We have a scheme just for you. Please block that number immediately. And the way they started, sir, मैं अमन बात कर रही हूँ. ये अमन कहाँ से आ गई यार? वो अमन आई हमारे घर में हो गया है भाई अशांति. उसका नाम अमन है. मैं अमन बात कर रही हूँ. आप ट्रेडिंग करते हैं सर, गया $500 बात. So it is because Kabir also said, "Aisi bani boliye," but also remember the intent, alertness to spot, ask questions. No harm in asking. You are the buyer, no? You are the buyer. If he comes 10 times, never mind, because that's what they. Sir, you could have told me on the first visit, sir. Ho gaya, you have started feeling guilt. Sir, I came on the first visit at 6 o'clock, sir. So I thought you will buy this product. Yeah, you finished. Your guilt ho gaya na andar. So salesmanship is not wrong, you know. You need a little amount of salesmanship. What are you? You knew the new salesmanship. This is a cost. Order kar diya. This will come in a dabba, no charger. You have to spend another 1,900 rupees for the charger. Old charger? No, sir. Old charger won't work, sir. Okay. Then I was using an old earphone. Whose earphone I'm not, what little I could hear, even that I could not hear. So, sir, new earphone you have to say, sir, 1,900 rupees. And if I put the earphone, charger won't go inside. Then he said, sir, further there is a device, a connector, another 1,900 rupees. Yaar, hajamat ki koi seema nahi. Sorry, Seema is my friend. Sir, cover dal de, sir. Temper glass kar de, sir. I finish you for good. So he says, be very careful. Be very careful with your purchases. Nothing comes. Only 4 walls will come. Uske upar you have to spend equal amount. So this is one doha which Kabir Das talked about. So then, it's possibly for the salesman also. It is also for people, many of us simple people. All of us here are very simple people, which I try to share with my friends. Whether even if we don't work for money. There's a very beautiful story in which somebody was saying he made a 16-foot statue of Sri Krishna. After making the statue, statue nahi bolna, vigraha bolna. We also don't use the word idol. We don't do idol worship. We do vigraha. Vigraha means visheshena graha. उसमें हम ईश्वर देखते हैं. I will go miles to see a fellow who sees God in a milestone. But he sees something. He's got a vision there. It's a vigraha. So he made a 16-foot vigraha of Krishna. And after making the whole thing, he says, I'm not satisfied. I need to work a little on the flute. It has not come out properly. So the fellow who was buying, he said, who knows here? Utne height mein kaun jaake dekhega? This fellow says, I know. Nobody knows, but I know that workmanship is not good enough. So for that person, for that quality conscious person, there was a fellow who made a jacket for me long back when I was in Delhi. It was delayed by 2 days. I said, kya hua yaar? After giving me the jacket, he said, sir, left shoulder mein there was a fold extra. I wanted to fix that. Just it had an extra fold. It was, sir, theek nahi lag raha tha. Okay, so that's such person. About him, Kabir Das says, Kabir सीप समुद्र की खारा जल नहीं ले. कबीर सीप समुद्र की खारा जल नहीं ले. पानी पीवे स्वाति का शोभा सागर देव कबीरा. The sea oyster is in salt water. It will not touch the salt water and consume it. It will wait for that swati jal. And after taking the swati jal, it becomes a pearl. वो सागर को शोभा देती है. It gives glory to that sagar. That should be the quality of workmanship. See, over a period of time, what has happened? चलता है, जुगाड़ में सब कुछ चलता है, जुगाड़ में सब कुछ चलता है. That was not India's character. That was not India's character. Like somewhere along the way, it happened in economic crisis. It has brought down the value. But that was not India's character. But there are still people. I have seen. I was born, brought up, educated in Kolkata. I remember going to a shop, a small shop, 3 houses or 3 building away from the flat where my brother was staying. I went in. I said, 10 taka to kichu pawa jayega. 10 taka means 10. Sandesh din to, please give me sandesh. Beautifully packed. And I brought it home. And I ate, and then I gave it to my niece. And my niece bought a ticket and said, yuck. I said, why, what happened? It is sour to taste. And there is a smell. Yes, it smells. So next day I took it to the shop. I said, sorry, I took it yesterday. It is smelling. He looked at it. He just put it aside and he told the ordinary shopkeeper who must be struggling for making a day-to-day break even. He told his assistant, he said, Shayad ki arekta packet pack kore dao to, give him 1 fresh packet. I said, how much should I give? He said, you should not give, I should give you. For having given you bad product last evening. And he said, please have this. If you find this faulty, I will give you fresh packet extra if necessary. But this is assured quality product. Ordinary shop sitting next door. Compare it, you buy some, one of those spraying devices. Once pressed, the thing what went inside won't come out. You go to the shop, he will say, you didn't buy it here. That's the only shop in the vicinity. He said, you didn't buy it here. The quality fellow will never compromise on quality. This is another great story. I read somewhere, I don't know the person. He is an IIT Kharagpur, IIM Ahmedabad, not the ordinary MBA which I mentioned the first time. Okay, he is management graduate. IIT Kharagpur, IIM Ahmedabad. He worked in the US for 10 years. He and another fellow of similar qualification worked in the US for 10 years. The other fellow worked for 20 years. When he came to India, came looking for his friend. In Bombay, this person is running a garage. He said, why did you leave all that? He said, I dreamt of repairing cars with my own hand. He has 2 assistants just to give him that tool. He personally repairs all cars. He attends to all. And once he attends, the car never goes wrong. They say once our star AB went to him. Not AB De Villiers. Kaun banega sampati. That fellow came to him and said, urgently chahiye. He said, Gaadi aap chhod ke jaiye. I've got 7 cars waiting. After attending to all 7, I will attend to yours. One day I attend 3 cars. So it is 8th car. So maybe he says, I am so and so. He said, you may be so and so. But I will personally attend, and this is my policy. So that was the quality. There was another person from India who set up shop in USSR. He personally hand makes suits. He cuts. And all these suits are maintained for free for life. He says, at the end of 1 year, please return the suit to me. Button tight karke, whatever adjustments I will return. He hand makes about 8 or 10 suits for the, don't wear it in India. It's for Russian weather. India, Chennai weather, what will happen? You will end up become a cooked mackerel in India. It is made, and he hand makes it. Quality delivery. The person says, when I play, a tennis player like Roger Federer, they say it's a Rolls Royce playing. And Rolls Royce advertisement, you see, at 120 kilometers per hour, the loudest thing you hear is our dashboard clock. The engine purring, you don't hear at all. Quality, quality, quality. So if your work is quality, the first mission, I believe in delivering quality stuff. So that's what Kabir says in this doha. Yeah. So there are a couple of good dohas which I want to share with you. These days, especially when you are highly qualified, when you are running to stay at the same place, when performance is the key, other things they said that nobody seems to bother about that. Performance is the key. You know who is the one fellow who can save you? That fellow is a coach. And Kabir has something to say about the coach. He says, Ye tan bish ki beleri, Guru Amrit ki khaan. Ye tan bish ki beleri, Guru Amrit ki khaan. शीश दिया जो गुरु मिले तो भी सस्ता जान कबीरा, तो भी सस्ता जान. Do you have a good coach in your life? You have made it. You have made it. The problem in management institute all over the world today, there are no coaches. Who is a coach? Who understands my Bishki Belari. I don't seem to have the drive to do this. Somebody will say, hey, this is wrong, man. The coach will say, I understand. I understand. I understand. He understands what are my blind spots. He will not make me climb 4 floors. He will say, arrange classes for you in the ground floor. He will say, I know you cannot reach this, therefore do this. He will know how to motivate. R.D. Burman did it. R.D. Burman wanted Kishore Kumar to sing, Mere Naina Savan Badho. So he said in Bengali, Kishore da Bhakchi Eda Rofi ke diye kara. I will get it done through Rofi. He said, right, what song? He said, oh, Mere Naina. Acha. Lata Mangeshkar has sung it. Would you like to listen? He said, nahi. 1 week time you give me. At the end of 1 week, he came and said, record. Ab suniye hoga. Suniye, and especially the higher. Wo saban ke jhoole. Oh, the way he takes. This is not the moment for singing. Wo saban ke jhoole. The role he brings is amazing. So, a good coach can bring you out. And for that, what is the price are you willing to pay? In India, they pay you peanuts. And when you pay peanuts, you will get monkeys. I will teach you how to climb trees and eat bananas. You know that there was a company which called me. They said, sir, we have to do training program for our staff, sir, 3 days staff, 4 days. I said, okay, what are you willing to spend for that? We will do it in a 5-star hotel. From breakfast till night tak khana, so that they increase their weight by 3 kg before the program is over. We will get them t-shirts. We will get them costly bag. We will give them Parker pen. Those days Parker. These days Parker pens are available. Parker pens we will give them. We will give them. I said, what will you give the faculty? Sir, 250 rupees per hour. Sir. I said, even my, first year student will not come and train. Sir, what are your charges? I said, 5,000 rupees per hour. They had to come back here. I said, I charge 5,000 rupees per hour. For a 3-day program, I will take about 1,20,000. So it's too expensive. I said, coach, say, you want a fellow who can change, transform your life. You have to pay now. They say, Kasar value. When I was in Bangalore a few days ago, somebody called me. So tomorrow is my father's birthday, sir. My father is 88. It's his birthday, sir. Not today, a week later. It was 28th May, I think, last month. Yeah. He says, my father's birthday. He loves Rafi songs. I checked around in Chennai. They said, Mohan is the ultimate. I said, yeah, I'm coming to Chennai only in the middle of June. He said, sir, can't you come for me? I said, I can come for you. I will come by car. Go by car. I have to return to Bangalore by car. So 3,000 up petrol, 3,000 down petrol, 6,000 petrol. Driver charge 2,000 one way, right? 2 to 10. A toll वगैरह, I will spend toll from my pocket. So breakfast भी अपने खर्च कर लेंगे. So 10,000 rupees. And for coming and singing, won't you pay me 5,000 rupees? He said, sir, I will get back to you, sir. Abhi father ka next birthday aa gaya. He used to get back. In Tamil, they say, there is something called at the end of a good performance, they will give you half a coconut, They will break a coconut, half he will take home, half he will give you. And one banana, rotten banana. And that too with a borrowed bag. I said, I'm afraid I don't do programs on those terms. अरे आपको कोच चाहिए, आपको क्वालिटी चाहिए. Sir, can you come in Calcutta and do program? हाँ करेंगे. We will give you second class fare. I said, I always fly. I don't travel second. I don't even travel second class to Bangalore. Bangalore, छोड़ो, Trichy, I don't travel second class. He wants me to travel second class to Kolkata. So this is a problem. If you are not willing to pay for quality, you will not get it. Okay, this is about coach. Then, are you prepared to take criticism? When somebody tells you, somebody says, sir, how is my singing, sir? I quote this example because the last few months it has become like a pandemic. Because everybody is singing and everybody wants feedback. How is my singing, sir? In the public platform, how can I criticize the person? So privately I sent. I said, yeah, this note you are not able to reach properly. He said, but sir, everybody says I am singing well. Hey, then why did you call me? Abhi, just a little while ago I was listening. So he said, Koi dil ke khel dekhe, jo muhabbaton ki bazi. I said, role chahiye yaar wahan. Unless you give the role, where is the song? He said, sir, everybody said wonderful, sir. I said, theek hai yaar, hame chhod. To such people, what does Kabir Das say? Lovely, dohe. He says, Nindak niyare rakhiye, Angan kuti chhawai. Nindak niyare rakhiye, Angan kuti chhawai. Bin pani sabun bina, Nirmal kare suhai. Kabhi sabun or pani ke bina he will wash you clean. You perhaps have to give him 1 cup of tea. Nindak, a person who honestly, frankly tells you improvement is possible. If you try some more, you can work. If I have not listened to my Nindak, I would have never been able to come with Kabir Das ke dohe. This talk would have never happened. How Kabir Das corporate kahan se related? I had to talk to somebody who would criticize me. Sometimes, good to have critics at home. People who tell you, you play to the gallery, you are not talking. My wife used to tell me, ये बहुत तुम gallery के लिए खेल रहे हो. You are doing for tamasha. You are not giving content. So these are criticism. You need critics, sharpen you, polish you. Diamond shines because of critics. The fire, the gold is thrown into the fire. The silver is thrown into the fire. By smooth polishing, kuch nahi hone wala. So he says about critic. Then it's very difficult to be a good role model. That's what Kabir Das says. Because once you go there, people are constantly watching you. They say the higher the monkey climbs, what do you get to see? You get to see the backside of the monkey. Uska sar thodi dikhta hai. You only see the backside and you say it is red in color, yellow in color. So, sorry about this example. So Kabir Das says, Kadi hai ghara Ram ki, Kacha tikke na koi. Kadi hai ghara Ram ki, Kacha tikke na koi. सिर सीधा सिर सोपे सीधा लड़े, सूरा कहिए सोई कबीरा। ऐसे खड़े रहो। What does Purushottam Ram stand for? Forget Ram, the icon. People, anybody here who learns Bharatanatyam, how will you pose Ram? Straight, integrated, head, speech, character, Arjava. It is called Arjavat, Arya. Arya Purush, Purushottama. It is very difficult to say. I forget, sit. A lot of people sit for before 1 hour. ऐसे वैसे हो जाता. Even I have to put some back rest. All of you should join Anita ji's class. She will teach you how to sit straight first. Asana Siddhi, she will teach you. So like that, sitting straight, standing straight, being straight of character. Sorry, I don't accept gifts. Sorry, kya character hai? I've seen, again, no reflection on a bank employee or anything. During Diwali time, all bank employees will stay till 5 o'clock. You know why? 4:45 ko sweet ka dabba aata hai. Customers will be, everybody will be there till 5:50. Other days, 3 o'clock, everybody runs back. What does it show? Problem hai yaar character mein. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yadadacharati sreshtaha tatateva itaro jana. Sahayat pramanam kurute lokastadanuvartate. Yatat acharati. जैसे आपका आचरण होता है श्रेष्ठ पुरुष का, साधारण जन वैसे ही फॉलो करते हैं. Sahayat pramanam kurute. Whatever standard he sets, lokaha tat anuvartate. Blindly people follow you. This is for that. Not only as teacher. If you are a teacher, I must have character. As a parent, I must have character. You yell at your wife and you tell your child, talk softly. The child will, that's what the child will do. You yell at everybody and that, learn to speak softly, my child. The child will softly, after some time, tell you, stop bullshitting, mama. That's what the child will do. Say something, behave something. Okay, so one more though. This is about wasting time. Yes. Management excellence, character excellence, personal excellence. How do you build up? Kabir Das says, Raat gawai sokar, divas gawai khai. Raat gawai sokar, दिवस गवाए खाए. हीरा जन्म अमोल था, कोड़ी
बदले जाए
कभी. अरे वाह प्रकाश सिंह जी, प्राजी. क्या बात है प्रकाश सिंह.
रात गवाई सोए के
रात गवाई, रात भर सोए. दिन में ब्रेकफास्ट में क्या है, लंच में क्या है, इन बिटवीन क्या है, और कुछ गया तो भाई पीते रहो. एंड दिस वैल्यूबल शरीर, इनवैल्यूबल. अरे एक, इफ यू हैड टू रेप्लिकेट वन स्ट्रैंड ऑफ हेयर, हाउ मच विल इट कॉस्ट? One, has all technology been able to manufacture one bottle of artificial blood? One bottle. No, you can't. I have to donate blood. This is the invaluable body. And this invaluable body, what am I doing? Kodi, bechi jai. I have badle jai. I am exchanging it for pittance. Itni valuable, invaluable sharir. I am wasting it on pittance. Our country, Bharata Varsha, is blessed to have such sant. Can you imagine? Kabir Das was illiterate. He sat and learned at the feet of Ramananda Guruji. He observed people. And all his doha are a certain, it says, no humbug. No Kabir Das dohe, there is no humbug. No humbug. Straight down to business. Hits you between the eye. It hits you between the eye. Bhai, ye anant lochan ugaad diya. He opens the third eye. Be alive to realities. Stop BS. BULL. बुल उसके बाद आप डाल लीजिए. I don't want to use this in this expression. Insincere words, meaningless words, no goals, no vision. And then you say, भाई यार somebody tells me, अगले generation के लिए आप भगवत गीता पढ़ाएंगे. I said, what will I teach my घर में आप लोग क्या कर रहे हो? Parents से 8 बजे रूम के अंदर गया, रात को 12 बजे निकलता है. And he wants me to come and teach his children Bhagavad Gita. Now, obviously, the child will not learn anything. He will say, uncle, और कुछ करते हैं ना? Let's go to coffee shop. It has to come down into the culture. It has to come down into the culture. So we can have, there are 900 verses. Usme se in the last few sessions, I've shared a few such doha on wisdom, on Guru Bhakti. बहुत कुछ है. I mean, I don't know whether I could share or not, but I learned a lot. Preparing, cleaned me up a lot. My thinking got clear. So I'm really Ishwar Anugraha, Guru Kripa, my parents' blessings, Atma Kripa. I could study and reflect and share. And there are so many of you who have attended and blessed me for and patiently listening to me. There are so many scholars who have come here, such elderly people, so knowledgeable. And yet you thought it fit to come and share your time with me, listen to me, share thoughts. And of course, seniors today, thank you very much. Archana ji, she's wonderful, she's a prime mover, creative banati hai. She was the one who told me, आपका पुराना picture बड़ा पुराना लग रहा है, कुछ modern picture this is. Modern नहीं है, जरा pink shirt में picture है. So she works on the images and the creative. Sir, ये अच्छा लगता है, वो अच्छा लगता है. Wonderful, इतना support देते हैं ना seniors today. It's wonderful. And please spread the word around, bring more people to seniors today. If you want to share thoughts with me, my email will be available. Very easy to remember. RBI, that's where I used to work. .mohan@gmail.com.
मोहन जी, आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आपके जरिए जो है हम लोग अपनी बॉडी को, अपने माइंड को क्लीन करने का प्रोसेस जरूर सीख रहे हैं.
Thank you very much.
ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है.
Thank you very much. ईश्वर कृपा है that I could share with you. ईश्वर अनुग्रह.
ऐसे ही आप लेसन जो है वो लेते रहिए और हम लोग को जो है कुछ न कुछ बांटते रहिए.
Oh yes, surely.
Thank you so much, Mohan ji. I always love your sessions.
Thank you.
They are too good. You are too good.
Thank you very much.
I loved your explanation of Vigraha today. I love that explanation. Yeah. Nobody has explained in such a manner what is the meaning of Vigraha.
See, a lot of people come and tell me, you do idol worship. I tell people, we don't do idol worship. I do Vigraha invocation. My knowledge, my vision is such that in a lump of turmeric, I can make Ganesha.
Yes.
Ab mantra suniye. Asmin haridra bimbe mahaganapatim avahayami. I put one lump of turmeric there and usko humne mahaganapati bana diya. This is vision. This is not idol worship.
Yes.
This is vision. For me, in the US dollar mein likha rehta, in God we trust. Rest strictly cash. India के नोट में क्यों नहीं लिखा रहता है in God we trust? Because for us it is Mahalakshmi. I don't have to mention it there. Old demonetized 1,000 rupee note, आप फेंकेंगे उसको बाहर? Will you step on it? No. 500 rupee demonetized note, 1,000 rupee. आप उसको will you touch it with your feet? No. Accidentally demonetize, it can't buy itself. उसको आंखों में रखेंगे. This is the vision. And this is not Hinduism. This is Vedic vision. And there's a lovely Hindi song, we should remember that. हम लोग वेद से दूर हो गए तो जिंदगी में पेन हो जाती है. और वेद के पास आ गए तो जिंदगी बन जाती है। तुम्हें पाके हम खुद से दूर हो गए थे, तुम्हें छोड़कर अपने पास आ गए हैं। हमने आत्मा को छोड़कर अनात्मा की तरफ चले गए, अब अनात्मा को छोड़ के आत्मा की तरफ आ गए। तुम्हें छोड़कर अपने पास। We can convert every bit cinema song into philosophy. This is our wedding.
Yes, yes. Yes, right. Very right you are.
And
Lovely, lovely.
so,
Lovely.
thank you very much.
Thank you, Mohan.
Today I thought I won't be able to attend your session because I came back home today only. But
Oh,
somehow
अच्छा,
I said no.
गाना बहुत अच्छा लगा, चैन से हमको कभी आपने जीने ना दिया।
Thank you.
लेकिन कबीर दास आपको चैन दिला देगा, not
Mohan sir, thank you very much once again, as always.
Thank you.
As always, the way you relate,
Thank you.
the way you relate
Thank you very much.
doha to real life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very wonderful session, sir. Thank you very, very much. Look forward for the next session.
Thank you. God bless. Oh, Ishwara.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.